Hello, everyone. Lisa Sabaniak from lifelikeyoumeanit.com. And I've got a kitty cat here with me who is really interested in helping you learn how to manifest everything that you could possibly want in life like magic. So manifesting is something that you've probably heard lots of before. And it's really all about getting in tune with yourself, with your highest self, with your highest good, with universal energy, whatever you want to call it. But really at the heart of manifesting is really getting clear on what it is that you want and shifting your mindset so that you're focusing on what it is that you want rather than what you don't want. So this is where, most people have their aha moment where they realize, wait a second, I've been, creating the vision boards, I've been doing the mantras, I've been, doing all this stuff to try to manifest making all this money or having all this success or finding a partner or whatever it is. And you can't figure out why it is that you're stuck, why you're doing all of these things, but you're not getting the reward from it. And 9 times out of 10, it is because you are actually focusing on what you don't want. Maybe not when you're doing the mantras, for example, or your positive affirmations, but at some point in there, you are being human. And us humans, we really do have this tendency to get caught up in what it is that we don't want, right? We don't want all of that debt that we have. We don't want all of our money having to go to pay down that debt. We don't want to be at the middle of the month and say, I've got no money left for the end of the month. We don't want to be in line at the grocery store, sitting there trying to figure out if we actually have enough money for all of the food that we've got. Or, yes, we know we've got enough money in the bank for the food that we've got, but how much money are we going to be left over to do anything else, right? We get fixated on those things so we can try to problem solve them. We can budget. We can do things like that, right? Same thing to do with success in your business. It might be that you are putting in so much time and effort onto the launch of a course or a new product or something along those lines. And you can't help but start thinking, gosh, I hope I'm not doing all of this work for nothing. I hope, wouldn't that just be terrible to put all this effort and time in only to turn around and not have anybody sign up. And I really don't want that to happen. So I'm going to make sure that I do this. And I really don't want that to happen. So I'm going to make sure I do that. But your motivation has not been on what it is that you do want. Your motivation has been on what you don't want, right? You don't want the debt. You don't want to have to worry about your budget when you're standing at the line in the supermarket. You don't want to worry about not having people sign up for your new product or your new course or whatever it is, despite all the effort. Those are the things that the universe hears. That's the energy that you're putting out, right? So when you're formulating your sentences, when you're thinking about manifesting, you've got to take into account that anytime you've got a negative in there, anytime you've got, I don't want this, or, I don't want that, or I'm hoping to not, or something along those lines, the universe doesn't hear that don't. It hears the rest of that sentence. Right? And if you don't believe in universal energy, that is fine. You can even just think in terms of your own patterns of thinking. Even your own unconscious isn't listening to the don't. It fixates on the rest of it, right? So I don't want debt. What's that? Debt, 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 right? I don't want to feel like a failure by launching my course and not have anybody signing up for it. Failure, 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 right? And that's what you will end up focusing on. And what you're focused on is what you will make happen. So we want to first get clear on what it is that we want. And then we want to create language around that supports that, right? So instead of it being like, I don't want any debt, you want to get rid of the word debt and get rid of the word don't, right? And you want to have some sentence, I want the financial freedom, or I want the luxury of being able to pay for whatever I want when I want, or something along those lines, right? always turning something into the positive. It's the same sort of thing as when you know everybody around you is ill and you are saying to yourself, I don't want to be sick. I don't want to be sick. I'm not sick. I'm not sick. I'm not sick. And then all of a sudden you're sick, right? Because the universe or even your own unconscious didn't hear the word don't, didn't hear the don't wanna in there, just heard the what, sick? Oh yeah, sick. Yeah, sure. We're sick, right? So it's the same sort of thing. Change the language to I am healthy. I am healthy, right? Lucy, hello. It's so nice to see you. So we're talking all about how to manifest what it is you want. So our first thing is to get clear of what it is that we want in the first place. Our second thing is to rewrite our script for the language that we're using. Get rid of all the negatives and the things that we do not want. So instead of I don't want debt, we've got the negative of don't, and we also have the negative of debt. We're going to switch that to I want the financial freedom to be able to pay for what I want when I want, or something like that, right? If you were debt free, you would actually have that freedom. So focus on that, right? The next part is for you to align what it is that you want with what it's going to feel like to get there. Because what the universe is really listening to more than your words is your emotions. Right? So when you are thinking about what it's going to be like to be financially free and pay for whatever you want when you want it, it's really important to not just have the mantra, right? We hear a lot about the mantra and the positive affirmations, and that's fabulous. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those, but you need to really feel it. It's not about, while you're wolfing down your lunch to actually be like, I'm financially free, and just saying things for the sake of saying it. Really take a moment, even close your eyes if you need to, and think about what that feels like. You must have had some point in your life where you had that type of success. It doesn't have to be with money, or it doesn't have to be with launching the course and having hundreds of people enrolled for your debut, right? It doesn't have to be that, but you've had a time in your life where you have felt that kind of giddiness that comes with that level of success, that real pride in yourself, that I am on top of the world feeling. And it may not be anything related to that. It may be with the birth of your child, for example, that type of elation, right? That type of, there is nothing that can stop me after you've gone through that type of experience, right? So you want to recall the biggest, strongest, most powerful feeling that you can associate with what it's going to feel like to step into those shoes, right? To be the successful course launcher, to be the successful product launcher, to be financially free, whatever it is that you're looking to manifest. So we're saying it with our positive language, but we're also connecting with the real emotion behind that and really allowing ourselves to experience the full joy, gratification, pride, whatever words you would use to describe what it's going to be like. And you're pulling on past experiences, something that you already know what it feels like. Okay? So that kind of takes care of the I'll be happy when, right? I'll feel proud when kind of thing. You're pulling up experiences where you've had that kind of happiness, that joy, that pride, right? That sense of accomplishment. And so you're reminding yourself on some level that you've already got it in one area of your life, and you're looking to add that into another. Now, the next thing is a little bit weird for some people to wrap their heads around. And so my last word of advice for being able to manifest anything that you want, it does not matter how big we're talking about here. You want to manifest £1 million this year, then you're going to follow these steps, including this last one, which is surrender control. Now, surrendering control is not the same thing as make a decision that you're going to be, a successful course launcher and then do nothing, right? That's not the same thing. You have to do all of the work that you would need to do to get behind being able to make that happen, right? So if you want to earn £1 million this year, that's excellent, but you're going to have some products and services for people to be able to come in, and you're going to have a streamlined system for them to be able to do that easily. So there is work involved there. But the surrendering the control part is your agreement with the universe, your trust in whether you look at it as the universe or as your higher self or your unconscious mind, it doesn't matter which, your angels, your guides, all of the above, you are putting out a resounding message of trust to say, I have formulated the words here. I've formulated exactly what it is I want. I know exactly how it's going to feel. And I remind myself every single day that I put that smile on my face and I recall that feeling when I actually say my mantra or my positive affirmation, reminding yourself when you're doing the work that's going to pay off in this result, right? You're saying all of that with the feeling all behind it, and you want to basically hand that up to the universe. So every single time that you are going through the work, the caseload, the whatever it is that you've got to do so that you can make it happen, you're doing your part. You're reminding yourself of why you're doing it, which is what it is that you want, that end goal, all wrapped up in language that is all about the positive, all wrapped up with the feelings like a warm blanket surrounding you of what that pride and exhilaration and that success feels like, drawing on your personal experiences, and at the same time are handing over to the universe, knowing that the universe will provide. And that means that you are doing your part while you are staying open to the opportunities that the universe is going to provide for you. Because perhaps for you to earn the £1 million this year, it's not just about the course that you want to launch, or not just about, I don't know, a podcast you're going to launch, or a book you're going to write, or whatever it is. Perhaps it's a bunch of those things, or something new that you've not even thought of. So that surrendering control is you saying to the universe, I am open to receive the messages, the guidance that you have for me. And whether that is your angels and guides, your higher self, a deeper knowing, your unconscious, the universe, whatever, doesn't matter what words you use for it. It's knowing that that guidance is going to unfold for you, and you are not going to try to control it. What you are going to do is recognize when the opportunities come up, when you have dreams about things, when you are in a group or watching a YouTube video or whatever, and something pops up that piques your interest, that makes you go, I was just having a conversation with my neighbor about that. That's weird. Those types of coincidences that happen, that are really the signs from the universe, that are either pieces of driftwood, if you would, that will coming in from the universe to say, Lisa, I'm giving you your bits here. Can you see the pieces of the puzzle that I'm putting together for you here? So you are able to, with gratitude, recognize these different opportunities. Ooh, look at this, right? And also expanding your mind at the same time, so you're not fixated, so that you end up losing the opportunity to actually manifest what you want because you're so fixated on how you think you're going to get there. So it's this weird kind of relationship between doing the work that you feel is necessary to get there, while at the same time relinquishing control and allowing yourself to be open to the signs that are all around you. So it may sound when you're listening to this like, oh yeah, I could totally do that. But that is definitely the most difficult part of this. Once you get the hang of it, boy, things will fly. Now, I've got a really great video on my YouTube channel in my meditations playlist that is actually surrendering control. And you can use that to surrender control of anything. I use that on a regular basis when I feel like I need to surrender control of other people, if a situation isn't unfolding the way that I had hoped, or when I catch myself actually having those moments where I'm playing out what future scenarios may happen. And I realize, I'm trying to control the outcome here, and I'm trying to make myself completely prepared for anything that could possibly happen. I need to surrender control of this. So it's a great meditation to help you on any level that you need to surrender control, including your manifesting of every possible thing you could ever want in life. And when I say that this is a really go big or go home, you absolutely can manifest anything. You just have to make sure you are following these steps. I hope that that helps. I don't see any questions in here. So please feel free when you're watching this on the replay, share your stories of things that you've been able to manifest. Sometimes you manifest things without the intention of manifesting it. But when you listen to a video like this, you realize those were the shifts that you actually made when you were able to turn the corner and start earning more money or having more success or things like that. You start realizing, you know what? I did. I changed my language. I stopped focusing on the negative and not wanting more of that. And I started focusing on the positive and what I want more of. And it started to make me feel proud. I started to already feel like I had reached some level of success. And so I allowed myself to stick with that and go with it. Right? So you might actually be listening and say, I've actually done that with this part of my life, and I didn't realize that that's what I was doing. Share those stories. We would love to hear them. And I think that's really inspirational for other people to see how things can unfold for others. And of course, if there's something in particular you'd like me to cover for next Monday's motivation, just let me know and I would be happy to oblige you. Bless. Have a fabulous week. Bye.